Real Madrid traveled to Real Sociedad headquarters in the 33rd week of La Liga 2022-2023 at the ANOETA stadium. Real Madrid had to swallow a bitter pill after losing to Real Sociedad with a score of 2-0. Real Sociedad's 2 goals came in the second half, through Takefusa Kubo and Barrenetxea. With this result, Real Madrid are still ranked second with 68 points, while Real Sociedad are ranked 4th in the La Liga standings with 61 points. Real Madrid manager Carlo Ancelotti has agreed that the club must look for a number 9 for the future. The Italian manager also remarked that Karim Benzema has been performing up until now though, and that if Los Blancos have one problem, then it is not their attack. Ancelotti speaks to the media before Real Madrid's match with Real Sociedad on Tuesday night, and was asked if the club needed to sign a more pure number 9 to play beside Karim Benzema, despite the use of Marco Asensio and Rodrigo goes through the middle in his absence at times. The project for the future for the club is to sign a 9, because Karim is the age he is. But Karim is doing very well up until now, and while he is in good condition, it's working very well. It's true that Karim has had his up and downs, but Rodrigo has progressed, Asensio has progressed. But it's also true to say that in the last 2 years, the problem has not been the forwards, commented the Italian, in a pointed remark towards his defense. The Italian manager was highly critical of Real Madrid's defending last week after they were beaten by Girona 4-2, and while they were on the right side of that scoreline against Almeria at the weekend, Ancelotti will no doubt have been irritated by the lack of concentration from his defense. Previously he had commented that, without defensive commitment, this team struggles to win games. Real Madrid manager Carlo Ancelotti has denied that he has a deadline to declare his intentions for the Brazil job, stating that he is not in conversations with the Brazilian Football Federation. The Italian manager has been strong in his responses to questions about his future in recent weeks, stating repeatedly that he wants to remain at the club until the end of his contract in 2024. Last week it was reported that Brazil have set a deadline of the 25th of May in order for Ancelotti to make a decision on his future, before they turn their attentions elsewhere. Ancelotti was asked about the news before Real Madrid's match with Real Sociedad, and wanted to dismiss the news. "I have already said that I don't talk about my future. But I will answer you. The deadline is nonsense. There is no deadline because I have not spoken to anyone. But I don't talk about my future." The Italian manager was under pressure in March, but calls for him to be replaced in the summer have eased since beating Barcelona 4-1 on aggregate in the Copa del Rey semi-final. Los Blancos now face the decisive 2 weeks of their season, with Osasuna ahead in the Copa del Rey final, followed by the Champions League semi-final against Manchester City in the 11 days after that. RB Leipzig midfielder Dominik Szoboszlai has named Real Madrid veteran Luka Modric as the hardest opponent he has ever come up against on the pitch. Real Madrid faced RB Leipzig during the group stages of the UEFA Champions League this season, with Los Blancos winning the home game 2-0 in September, before falling to a 3-2 loss away in Germany in November. Modric only played the home against the Saxony-based outfit and was on the pitch for 81 minutes. And during that time, it seems like the Croatian midfielder managed to make a huge impression on Szoboszlai. Answering a question from a fan about the hardest opponent he has faced, the RB Leipzig and Hungary midfielder, who has previously admitted to being a childhood Real Madrid supporter, said, "Modric. He was when we played against Real Madrid, is simply everywhere on the pitch. If I turned to the left, he was there. If I went to the right, he was there. If I tried to go forward, he was one step ahead of me. When I turned around, he was already behind me. So yeah, that's why I'd say him." Despite his advancing years, Modric has continued to be one of the topmost midfielders in the game, and remains a pivotal part of Carlo Ancelotti's Real Madrid setup at 37 years of age. So, naturally, his recent injury blow came as a major blow to the Merengues ahead of important matches against the likes of CA Osasuna and Manchester City. But earlier today, Ancelotti offered some hope that the former Tottenham man could recover in time for the Copa del Rey final against Osasuna later this weekend when he said, "We'll see Modric, he can make it on Saturday."